Good evening, baseball fans, and welcome to another edition of Sports Talk with Rags here in Season 4, Episode 64. And tonight, here we have the honor of having a Georgia Tech outfielder and junior on the team, Parker Brosius, with us tonight. Parker, how you doing this evening?
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
Sure, no problem. Well, hey, before we get to your time here being part of Georgia Tech, what was it like here growing up? Was it just baseball, or were you able to play all sports as you were growing up?
No, yeah, baseball is definitely the priority. I
Right.
played football up through my freshman year, so
Okay.
that definitely took a big time in the fall.
Right.
Played a little bit of basketball in middle school, but that was really just for fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you were growing up, was it the travel circuit for baseball, and then as you got older, playing on the showcase teams to be seen to play at the next level?
Yeah. I mean, the travel baseball. It's crazy how young it starts now. It starts probably up around was it 8, 10 U, something like that.
I think some
Uh,
places might be like right out of T-ball.
yeah, it's insane now. But yeah, I played with the Georgia Bombers growing up,
Okay.
and we had a good group that stuck together pretty much since we were probably 10 till we were 17 years old. So that was a ton of fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So 10 to 17. So did you make that trip up to Cooperstown when you were 12?
yeah, we did. That was a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
We ended up tying for third place up there.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, we had a
Yeah.
pretty good run.
Yeah. I know when my wife and I went with one of my nephews, my brother was telling me, he was like, hey, if we have rain, we're going to wait it out because you're there to play baseball. What an experience it
Yeah,
is as you're growing up.
yeah. No, we had one of those games for sure. It started raining. I think we started at probably 1 a.m. or something like that. It
Okay.
was yeah, it was really cool being up there.
All right. So let's see. So as you got into high school, and playing, and being from Georgia, were you hoping to just play for state school, there when college, or what was the recruiting process like?
Yeah, no, it was funny because like I didn't really have like a dream school per se growing up, but I knew I wanted to play college baseball, and then when I started going through the whole recruiting process and stuff, I knew like pretty early on when I was talking with Ramsey, who's our hitting coach here,
Okay.
that I really liked him and wanted to be able to keep working with him. So when I got the opportunity to come here, I was pretty quick to decide to continue on it.
Yeah, and what I was sharing with your dad is, my dad was born in Atlanta there in 1950, lived, there outside the city limits there in 50 to 60, but there were no major league sports. So definitely, what to follow there was definitely Georgia Tech and Georgia athletics.
Yeah, they're coming along nicely. Football team's heading in the right direction again, which is awesome. It's those games are a lot of fun now. So
Right.
yeah, it's been
Yeah,
good.
yeah, and so the thing is, with being there, being part of Georgia Tech baseball, when I had the Kansas State, coach on, he kind of shared how in the fall, he kind of, adjust the fall baseball schedule around the home game so you can support the football team. Is that similar there at Georgia Tech?
Yeah, they're pretty good about it. Typically, if we have a home game on Saturday, then we're not in practice that day. I mean, just
Right.
yeah, just so we can be able to go to the game, and then also just with us being like right in the middle of downtown and stuff, and
Right.
with everything being so close to each other, it'd be hectic to try to fit everything in. Yeah,
Yeah, and especially when Miami was in town a couple weeks
hmm
ago. That
yep,
was a nice win there for the football team.
yeah, that was awesome. That was huge for us.
Yeah. So so here you are, a junior. I mean, so when you came to being part of Georgia Tech there as a freshman, I mean, was there opportunities for you to play in the summer if you wanted to with being part of Georgia Tech? But how has it been here with not only being part of Georgia Tech but being part of a ACC program?
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. And talking about like the summer, they're great about like being able to set up a spot for you to go play. So I
Oh,
mean, or in my freshman year, I knew pretty early that I was going to be sent up to Michigan, up in Traverse City, Michigan.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was a really cool experience. Spent the summer up there. Schedule was insane. It was probably I just want to say it was 68 games and
Wow.
65 days, something like that. Yeah, up in the Northwoods. But it was that was a grind for sure. It was a lot of fun though.
Yeah, yeah, and the thing is, and so so there's really only time to come home and get your stuff, and then get ready to go back there for your sophomore year. I mean,
Yeah.
so with being part of summer baseball, I know that you're working on your game and staying in shape, but with not being home, I mean, it's kind of an introduction of if this turns out to that an opportunity comes after college.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a little weird at first and something you gotta get used to, but it's definitely worth it, I would say. I mean, it's something that you're signing up for. It's something that you love to do. So something that just kind of comes with it.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, I know with Georgia Tech, I mean, Danny Hall, the career that he's done here with leading the program. I mean, but boy, the ACC. I mean, even this past year, and it's and with following it there with football, it's kind of hard to see Cal and Stanford and SMU part of the ACC. But boy, what a grind it is to battle for a conference championship here with being in the ACC.
No, yeah, it's definitely tough. There's no really like off games per se. I would say it's everyone can come out and like win a game on any given day. So it's really just you gotta show up like ready to win no matter what day it is.
Yeah, and the thing is with how big the ACC has gotten, I mean, they certainly do a great job a great job there when it comes to conference tournament time of kind of doing like a pod, a pod style, round robin tournament, and then the best records out of those pods,
Yeah.
make it to the semifinals there. So it's kind of, there in the opening round. I mean, each game each game's a big one when it comes to the ACC conference tournament.
Yeah, that's for sure. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of the way they do it. I
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
wish because then there's if you lose your first game and you're not like the top seed, then you're just playing another game for like literally no reason.
Right.
Yeah, so I wish they would kind of reformat it somehow to be like either a double elim tournament or something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and I saw that freshman year didn't make the NCAAs, but I saw that last year you guys not only made it to the NCAAs, but didn't have to go far and play in the Athens regional.
Yeah, yeah, that environment was pretty fun. Yeah, that was probably the best atmosphere I've played in so far. It was pretty cool to witness.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, with being in-state rivals, I mean, do you guys schedule each other during midweek or maybe when they're all from SEC play and you guys are all from ACC and get a weekend there with your in-state rivals for regular season?
Yeah, so the way we've done in the past has been we'll usually play two or three series against out of region opponents, and
Okay.
then we do a weekend series against them, and it would typically be like a home away and then like a neutral site. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so last year we played it at the AAA stadium for the Braves.
Oh, Gwinnett.
Yeah, over at Gwinnett, and then but this year we're only playing them once, but I think we're playing them out at Truist.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I mean, with being right there in downtown Atlanta, I mean,
Mhm.
I guess when I know, you're a student athlete, but when there are some downtime before the season starts, I mean, you're right there. I mean, are you into the Falcons and the Hawks?
Not as much the Hawks. I'm a Falcons fan though. I'm a big football fan in general.
Okay.
Yeah, I made one of the Thursday night football games earlier in the year.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and and then so let's see. So you played Michigan one summer. Did you
Hmm.
play anywhere last summer?
Yeah, I was up in the Cape for a little
Oh,
bit. I only got in like 7 games before I got hurt though. I had to come home for
okay.
the summer.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a bummer. But
Yeah.
it was awesome up there. Cape's beautiful. It
Right.
was uh, it was a lot of fun while I was there.
Yeah, and the thing is I mean, when the early to mid '90s, when my brother was playing college baseball, he it was the Valley League here before here in Virginia, before the Coastal Plains League. But one thing that's definitely been consistent over the years has been the Cape.
Yeah,
And just getting the opportunity of going up there, and I know that last summer was short, but then you heal up and get ready here for the 25 season.
yeah, that's for sure. I mean, it's definitely a little weird having a summer off per se. We're just
Right.
rehabbing this.
Yeah.
I mean, that was probably the first summer I haven't been playing baseball
Oh,
since
wow.
I've started playing baseball, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was good to get back and see all the guys that were here and meet a lot of new faces as well. I mean, I think we have a total of probably close to 30 new guys here this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I mean, I know with the money making sports of football and basketball, you definitely get news of the transfer portal there for football and basketball, but definitely the transfer portal is definitely here big here in all sports, and especially here coming out of the pandemic, where
yeah,
student athletes were given an extra year. So, you could see people, get their undergrad and then move somewhere else and finish out their eligibility at another school while they worked on their master.
yeah. No, it's definitely tough, especially. I mean, there's guys coming in at 18 years old and they're competing for spots against guys that are 24. So I mean, it's yeah, it's definitely huge in college baseball, and it's just
Right.
guys like looking for better or get places where they can play, and they always think it's always the grass is always greener on the other side, but that's not always the case.
Yeah, and let's see. And the fall season, are you guys able to play against maybe like one or two weekends, maybe have like an exhibition against someone else, and then wrap up with uh um with a gold and blue World Series to wrap up the fall?
Yeah, so like primarily we just do a bunch of like inter squads throughout the fall, but then we do like a 14 inning game against Kennesaw State, and then a
Okay.
14 inning game against Jacksonville State.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then we wrap it up with our Golden White World Series, which was it was a 5 game series this year.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, they're in Atlanta. I mean, and in the state of Georgia, you definitely got you guys, Georgia, Georgia Southern, and then going down to Florida, and definitely there with Miami and Florida State. They're being in the ACC, but and then when you go over to other southern states. Definitely some com- tough competition right there, and uh, drives not very far commutes.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good having like the good competition that's close. Um, yeah, but we don't take very many trips to Florida. I guess we typically only play one of Florida or Miami, like
Okay.
on the road. That's kind of how it's been like the past couple of years. I think that's our only Florida trip, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know with our friends Lee and Tracy Butler, they're actually when both of their boys, Kyle and Connor, were
Mm,
at Radford. When Kyle was at Radford, went down there, and Joey Bart
yeah.
was at Georgia Tech, and then last year, we went down there to open the season and saw you guys play. And I mean, there in the middle of February, I mean, even that first game where it's at night, I mean, it's being there in the middle of February, it's still jacket weather.
Yeah, no, it's definitely it gets pretty chilly out here sometimes. I mean, not as bad as it does up north. That's
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. So everybody likes to come down here, and I see that Old Dominion here in Norfolk starts off with coming to play y'all. I think President's Day weekend there with opening weekend there at Georgia Tech.
yeah, no, that'll be fun. It's always nice to be able to start out the season with a couple home games and kind of get back into the swing of things. That's for sure.
Yeah, and so so you're done with the fall.
Mhm.
So now it's just staying in shape and balancing school, and wrapping up here with exams. And then when you come back there in January, it's continue with workouts, but you know get focused here on the 2025 regular season, right?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's really just a bunch of like off-season workouts, get everyone kind of bigger, stronger, faster, that whole thing. And we hit the ground pretty much running right when we get back. I think we start up baseball stuff pretty much right away, as well as with workouts, and that
Right.
kind of goes through January, and then first games middle of February. So
Right. Yeah. And so last year with making the regionals, I mean, you start off there in the middle of February and play till the first weekend in June, but you definitely want. I mean, so even playing, you know, college baseball. I mean, it's definitely a grind here with midweek games, three games, 3 game series, and with how big the conferences are, so there's really not much room to play everyone in conference anymore.
yeah, no, it's definitely grown a lot. Um, I know it's interesting the way they do it with the new teams that have been added, like out west. Um, they made it to where you're only going to go out there once a year.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it would have been cool to like go there, like play one of them one weekend, and then play
Right.
the other one the next. Just kind of hang out there.
Right.
That's how I would have liked to do
Well,
it.
well, especially with Cal and Stanford not being far
Yeah.
from each other. I mean, it would be that would be pretty pretty cool to if you were the school to play at Cal and at Stanford,
Hmm.
just to go out there, and then one weekend you play a weekend series against Cal, and then during the week maybe play one or two midweek games against
Yeah.
other schools, stay out there, and then wrap up the next weekend there with but it's just strange to see Atlantic Coast Conference and here with how uh, the conference here has just been spread out all across the United States.
Yeah, no, it's definitely different. That's
Right.
for sure. But
Yeah.
I think it's good for the conference though
Yeah,
overall.
yes. I mean, and the thing is I guess I'm showing my age, but I definitely remember when Boston College, was in the Big East, and you definitely don't want to you know, go up there when conference starts, because it definitely doesn't warm up till later on up there in New England.
Yeah, yeah. We had a chili series up there my freshman year up in Boston.
Okay.
Yeah, it was definitely we had that one that was pretty cold. I played Louisville. It was snowing during our warm ups one day. Yeah, we've had a couple chilly ones.
Yeah, and so let's see. So you got 30 new guys, and just ready here to take on the non-conference schedule, and then it's usually like about the middle of March, I think, when you guys start playing conference play, and then around Memorial Day weekend is when it's the ACC tournament.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think we usually play about 15 or so like out of conference games before we start the in conference. But
Okay.
yeah, it'll be interesting this year. I think we'll be pretty good. We have a lot of inexperienced guys, so I think once they kind of get their shoes a little wet and kind of get a feel for what college baseball really is, I think it'll be pretty good.
Yeah. Well, hey, Parker, I mean, my wife and I watched you and your team play there last year in person, and I communicated here with your dad here through the season last year, and definitely here with the connection. Definitely appreciate him connecting us, and having you come on and share your story, and being part of Georgia Tech baseball, and now getting ready here for your junior season here as the calendar flips to 2025.
Yeah, no, it was great. Thank you for having me.
Sure thing. Well, hey, everybody, and especially Yellow Jacket fans. That was junior outfielder Parker Brosius with us tonight. And go Jackets. And thanks again for your time.
Yes, sir. Go Jackets.
All right. All right.